Mental health is not a destination, but rather a process. It's how you drive and not where you are going. Those were the words of Noam Shamsa. Mental health, apparently, in our society, is an issue that really cuts across, both in men and women. But surprisingly, men are not fully considered when it comes to mental health, just because society was able to paint a picture or bring a perspective of them being strong, affirmative, and clinged to a factor of them being so firm enough. According to WHO, that's the World Health Organization, statistics have it clear that over 40% of men are affected by these mental health issues, but they are not spoken about. Today, we've been able to create a safe space where we shall discuss all the mental health issues, get to share experiences, and where need be, provide solutions to every factor that seems to affect men, or even the boy child. Joining me today is a strong panel that I believe is well informed and is able to share a good experience about this very topic. My name is Bakiza Asha, and I welcome you to this first ever show about mental health on WRTG, where we have the little truths and the big conversations about trending topics and about every topic and issue that seems to affect society. Help me welcome my first guest. You're very welcome.
It's an honor to be here. Thanks for having me on WRTG.
Surely indeed. Tell us about yourself kindly and what you do know about mental health.
Okay, my name is Nicholas Asingwire. I'm a second-year student of journalism and mass communication at Cavendish University. My understanding of mental health is the state of mind. When I don't have what to worry about, when my mind is free, I feel like my mental health is okay. So there are two things that normally worry me, especially money, because money is like a solve of all problems in my life. Then the other thing is when my girlfriend is making me happy. Then mental health goes bad when I have a lot of things to worry about. That could be financial issues, that could be maybe books are stressing me. And when it lasts for a short period of time, I usually describe that as stress. Then when it lasts longer, most people usually say that is depression. So my understanding of mental health is like that.
Oh, okay. So it seems mental health to you is overly connected to emotions.
Yeah, like I said, it's a state of mind, so it's mostly an emotional thing. These things don't apply a lot of logic. It's usually how your mind reacts to things.
Okay. On my left, I also have another guest. You're welcome on this show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, tell me about yourself, please.
By the name of Nata Christine Mangeni, I'm a third-year student pursuing a bachelor's in accounting and finance. I'm also a student leader on the guild and our mental health club cabinet, because we have a mental health cabinet as a university, because we mind about people's mental health. It is not necessarily generalized to only women, but also men. Since this is the month of men's mental health, this is the time we mind about the men that we have in our lives. The fathers, the brothers, the husbands, the boyfriends, the situationships that you have also, they matter. They have a lot going on. And given that it's a men's mental health month, what I can say about men's mental health generally is that it doesn't mind about gender or age or even character. It doesn't. It's a state of mind, like how our first guest said. Mainly it's about emotions, how we articulate emotions, how we express them. But it's not necessarily that women alone face the problems concerning mental health, but also men, given that they are providers. So as a university and as a club, we decided to celebrate the men this month in their men's mental health month of June, whereby there's a run that's going to happen, and we encourage them to come so that they feel celebrated and feel loved. So it's not necessarily about the women, we are emotional beings as the female gender, but we also care about our men.
You've really struck a nerve by telling us of how you're a leader in a Cavendish University mental health club.
Yes.
I don't know if there are principles you really focus on.
Yes, they are there.
Like?
We, as the mental health club of the university, really mind about equality.
Okay.
So that even the men have opportunities, have places where they stand and speak, generally as them.
Okay.
We give them a safe space, literally, so that they also feel loved, feel appreciated, and we also engage them. The cabinet is not only made of females.
Mm-hmm.
Our vice president of the mental health club is a guy. He's called Mr. Mchunguzi Moses.
Mm.
So we have other leadership positions where the men are heard and listened to. So we make sure they feel loved and heard as them, because the world is too cruel for us to only focus on one personality or on one gender.
All right, thanks so much indeed. In this very topic about mental health, he is creative. You're very welcome on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us about yourself, please.
By the name, Baita Victor,
Okay.
CEO and founder, Sleek Visuals. PRO of a Tinder Football Club, and a creative social media handler of Soccer Explorers. But in accordance to our topic today and our theme, I'm a documentary, let me say a creative under making documentaries and also adverts. And for the theme, as a breakdown of how mental health, we look at it in line with the men. I believe the men are not being heard enough, because when you look at our society, naturally, it's like when you start from being a boy, before you go to the men, we start from being a boy. We are always growing up in families whereby you're having sisters, you're having brothers, but they will always tell you a man doesn't cry. A man has to stay strong. So we are always growing up and we are cocooned in that shell. We know that there is nothing that has to beat you up. You cannot break down. You have no one to tell you to. So I believe the society, in one way or the other, is being cruel or is neglecting the boy child. Because before we become the men now, by the time we grow into men, we are used to the situation that men do not cry, men do not break down, men do not speak out. So basically what we do, what the creatives, we look at, how do we express these stories? We bring real life stories to life. We bring them, we try to expose on how the society is trying to trick the boy child. So this is where let me term them as documentaries, because we do short clips on these people. They are men already, and we all look at all ages. So according to let me give you an example, a live example of the recent project that we were working on. I will not single out the name.
Okay.
But it's a life story. A kid grows up from way deep down in Busoga, particularly Ginger. This kid grew up in an extended family. But they have been growing up with a stepmother. They never had the opportunity to grow up with a mother, because these people differ. But the father has been teaching them a man doesn't cry. Of recent, he has been occupying a lot of stress a lot of depression, a lot of stuff on him. Once we tried to interact and we broke down each and everything, we came to realize that the world is cruel to them, to the men. You go out, wake up, you don't know what the day is holding for you. You're going out, you're going to hustle. After hustling, things may not work out. Your girlfriend is in need of something. Your wife is in need of something on the table. You need to provide for your children. Your mother is calling up. Your sisters have not gone to school, so on and so forth. But still, you need to make sure that the business you're owning or the person you're working for is making sure that he's paying you or he has to retain you on the job. All that you find yourself under a lot of pressure, whereby you cannot even tell it to anyone. The moment you feel like you're speaking up, the society feels like if a man speaks up his mind, that's the end. He becomes a weakling.
I really get to have something interesting to pick out from your introductory part. Men are always connected to as alpha males and not meant to cry or do anything.
Yeah.
But do you think this can really change in our given society or contemporary society? And how best can we bring this into the picture of where we can have it balanced? The women are hard, but also the men are also hard, and they're not shed a very negative picture.
Okay, it can, to answer the first part of the question, our society can, provided we put out there the rightful information. We show the society that we, the men, are also human beings. They need to be hard, because since it's being portrayed to the society that a man shouldn't cry, a man is an alpha male, is affirmative in whatever he's doing, he should be at one moment hard, because we have emotions also. And then, how do we put this into our picture? Thinking creatively as an animator, illustrator, and motion graphic designer. We always look at making simple illustrations. We try to use those because according to research, we always, as Africans particularly, we always do not like to read. But if you see something visually, trust me, you will keep track and memory of it. Mm-hmm. And then we believe that we can all, once we do those motion graphics and so on, we can try to portray these stories. Okay. We try to promote out that men, yes, we are men, we have a point of breakdown.
All right.
We need to find someone, talk to, so that they always say, as a saying, a problem shared is always a problem solved.
All right. Yeah, sure.
So we always believe for the women, I believe they have gotten a bigger platform, but we shouldn't neglect them since we are advocating for the men. We shouldn't advocate for neglect the women, but at least let us have a balanced say in the environment.
Okay.
That's my view.
Yeah, thanks very much indeed for that. Tabitha, let me now get to you. He talks of... So Tabitha, allow me to connect to you. He talks of having men in a balanced setting with the women in terms of having their mental health issues or problems solved. What do you make of that?
I think, first of all, the society where we are in, just the way he said it, very clearly and vividly, men are not supposed to cry, because that is what they have been taught, like at a very young age. And then even in the teen years, they've been told this thing over and over again. And, it has become like a song. And also, you have also seen on social media, for example, how these men that come out to cry about certain things, maybe they've broken up with their girlfriend, or they have lost someone, or they feel down. I think you've seen how they are attacked on social media, and how they are told to shut down and keep quiet. They're not supposed to do that because they're men, Now with such scenarios, scenarios, a young boy out there in secondary or primary, university, sees something happening like that to a fellow man, he will shut down, he will keep quiet. Even though he's in a relationship or something, he will portray his mental health, maybe like a disorder, depression, trauma, in different ways. That's why you see cases like that my guy is cheating on me. Now that's like a coping mechanism, yeah? Because you see, one thing with mental health, when it becomes very bad, meaning that dependence is not there. Mental health, just the way he said, it's more of emotions. If his girlfriend is not giving him what he's supposed to have, that dependence is off. That dependence is off. It becomes really bad, and so that dependency, so when the dependency is cut off, you find these are the same men that start having issues because they are dependent on somebody. They're dependent on money. They're dependent on sex. They're dependent on their mothers. They're dependent on everything. So, and the funny thing about mental health, just the way she said, it doesn't target the young, the old, whoever you are. It's going to attack you. If you're ready or you're not, it's going to target you. And for mental health, for both men and women, for it to have an equal space, I think first of all, we need to understand each other. Yes, we need to understand each other in a way that, you see, men and women are not the same. In any aspect, they're not the same, but we are all humans, yeah? And we're supposed to be humane, actually. We're supposed to be humane and understand each other, all those aspects. But in actual sense, we are not the same, and we need to give people that equal space. Maybe to speak out, to vent, whatsoever, to ask questions. They're supposed to be free. A boy at a young age of 3 or to 6, you're not supposed to be telling that at such an age, a critical age as that, you're not supposed to tell the kid that you're supposed to keep quiet. Don't come to me when, like, the teacher says something, Because at that age, that 6-year age, the kid picks. He picks and he writes down, I'm not supposed to cry. I'm not supposed to do that. And then the girls have been given that luxury. I call it luxury because women have been given spaces and they have been given a lot of awareness and all that with different things that are facing more than men. I call it luxury because the men can never have it. Yeah. It's going to take some time for the men to get into that balancing of both men and what? And women. The second thing is more of advocating for the men, because the boy child, we have forgotten about the boy child. I think the anthem that we're hearing in this 21st century is a girl child, girl child, girl child. There's a camera for girls. What about the camera for boys? Maybe there's a cancer run. But don't men also get cancer? And they say that they're advocating and all that. Such institutions and such programs, they should be well balanced and put out there that if there is a scholarship program, let it not only cater for girls in Bundibujo or in Bukasa. Let it also cater for the boys that are there. Because as you all know, these days the girls are out there carrying hard labor, yeah? But also there are boys out there. The boys are doing mechanical work. They're not going to school. Because we are all hearing something of girl child, girl child, girl child. Girl child should go to school. Girl child, what about the boy child? That's the third. We need to advocate for the boy child.
All right. Thank you for that. It's really been quite exciting and intriguing there. So Nicholas, a lot has really been shared. But then earlier on, we had a chat, and you telling me of a good story that you a good experience that you've really had. Do you mind sharing a list?
Thank you, Asha. Yeah, I could spend a whole day sharing stories about mental health because my life has been a cautionary tale. I do a lot of dumb stuff that land me in trouble, and yeah, at times it ends up really bad. So I'm going to share a story that happened, since this is a student talk show. I'm going to share a story that happened about 10 years ago. So in 2015, I was at Makerere University doing a bachelor's degree, and it was a science program. I decided to now become a media person. From science, I was doing a course that even had biology in it. Then I decided to go in the arts, where literature and whatever I wanted. So I go through uni, start dropping classes. Remember, I'm even on government sponsorship. I start dropping classes. I started doing that in second year. I would attend like a few classes. I was doing a course that had about, I think, we'll do like 11, 12 course units, what we call modules here. So it became so boring because I'd even taken it begrudgingly. I wanted another course, but because it was offered on government, I had to take it up. So I go through the university, since I'm not paying fees. Makerere used to offer free accommodation. I'm not worried. Then after the end of the course, now reality hits. Remember, my parents are at home organizing my graduation. I haven't informed them that, because at the time, I think it's even still a culture, they normally end the last semester in June, then graduation is in Jan or Feb the next year. So I finish, I haven't, of course I'm not going to graduate, but my parents are excited. Their son is bagging a degree, we're going to slaughter a cow, we throw a party, all good. Even my dad is calling his friends for connections so that when I'm done, I'm getting a job. Now, after uni like this, I cut off communication with my parents. I had a cousin who was staying in Kamboja. He was staying in a bed sitter. For you who don't know what a bed sitter is a musigo, typical musigo where like everything is in your room. So we started sharing a room, staying together from June. Then June, July, August, October, he decides to get a girlfriend. Remember, we're staying in a bed sitter, there's no separation. We're separated by curtains. He's sleeping the other side with his girlfriend, I'm sleeping this side with him, alone. Then after some time, life gets hard for him as well, because he can't look after two people, his girlfriend and me. And then with time, he realizes that the chick is now pregnant. So he wakes up one day and leaves us in the room, me and his girlfriend. Remember, I'm broke as a church mouse. The girlfriend is a hustler. She was working in a restaurant. And the guy just woke up one day, because he didn't have much in the room, and disappeared and went back to the village. So now I'm stuck there with his pregnant girlfriend. We are staying in the same room. Things become really tight. I struggled for about, I think, 4 more months. And then I realized there's nothing much I can do. I have to call my parents and tell them what is happening so that we figure out a way out. Because I don't know if any of you guys have been to Kamboja. During that time when remember I told you I wanted to become a writer. So during that time I would walk from Kamboja, if you've been to Kamboja, up to Makerere on foot every day. I used to make porridge, bushera, those of you know bushera porridge, that one from it. So that I would make porridge, put it in my bag and my laptop, and then go at Makerere because there's free internet. I was just a student there, so I still had access to services. Then spend the whole day there. Then one time, something stupid happened. I went to one of the halls of residence. I had lost my ID. So the custodian finds me and asks me, are you a student or you just came here to steal things? Remember, I didn't have an ID. So I started explaining, I've been a student here, I'm trying to clear so that I can graduate. But I have nothing to show to prove that I was a student. So the guy tells me to go in his office and he locks me inside. But luckily enough, I had a friend who was doing a pharmacy course, and I called him and acted like I had come to visit him. So that's what saved me and they raised me. So when all those things happen, the struggles of staying with a woman that is not mine, that is pregnant, and then me struggling financially, that's when I called my dad. And then he called someone. I explained to him what happened. I told him what my interests are now. And then he called someone who knew someone, and then they happened to get me my first gig. Since then, I haven't looked back. Of course, working when you don't have documents and a degree is very tough, which explains why I came back to school. So the last many years have been very challenging. There have been some good moments and nice moments because, of course, because of experience, I now have better jobs. I'm not going to mention my employers, but yeah, it's been a challenging process. That's when last year I decided to finally come and join Cavendish University and start doing the program that I'm doing. So far, so good. Yeah, that's my experience.
Okay, that's really been it's really been mind-poking, and it's been such an incredible journey indeed, full of ups and downs. Indeed, that's really been an inciting and mind-poking story. But then, to the viewer out there, they would really want to know how you really managed to overcome that, because it was so overly long.
Yeah, so these mental health things usually become hard before you open up. But when you get someone to confide in, the thing starts becoming easy right from there, because what the obstacle was me not telling my parents.
Yeah.
So the moment I opened up to them and they realized that, yeah, that's how life is, things have changed, we have to figure out another way, and they got me another job, life started changing right from there. Then on the part of dealing with it, now this usually happens in two ways, because I've seen it from experience and from what I've seen with other people. If you're an introvert like me, the challenge becomes on which people to talk to. Because for instance, for me, my problem was I never used to like talking to people about it. So what I would do, I would just go maybe to the bar, buy for friends some booze, and then we just chat, and I keep forgetting whatever I was dealing with. But what ended up helping me was what you guys are doing right now. There's other places you can go for mental healing and to get some knowledge. I used to go on YouTube and watch a lot of podcasts about mental health issues. Then I did a lot of reading, because since I was a writer, reading is also prerequisite. So I had to do a lot of reading and then also watch a lot of content online to get better. And of course, with time as you grow over the years, you meet friends who have also been through the same situation, and it helps you get better.
There's a spark created there. You've talked of being an introvert. I know out there is a man that is so good at that, being an introvert. But then how best do you think they can be able to speak out, even when they're introverts, or even when they feel like they're unable to say anything?
Okay, now that comes, I think every one of us has someone you trust. You have to, even if you're introverted as whatever, you have to be having that friend that you can tell your problem, and then maybe they can guide you on what to do next.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to always open up, because chances are solutions out there. Like, there's no experience that you've been through that hasn't happened before. There are very many people who have dropped out of school. This is not something new. There are very many people who have been in breakups. So everything that you're going through has happened to you before. So you just have to accept maybe the humiliation, because you know what, people are not going to react to your problems the same way. There's a friend you're going to and they even laugh at you, especially for us boys. And the times the boys will laugh at you, but again help you recover from the problem. Because if you come and tell me that you have an issue with your girlfriend, I will laugh at you because of. But I also offer you a solution, because that's how at times us boys deal with problems. Yeah, but you just have to get one person, open up to them, and then start playing out right from there.
All right.
So Nicholas's story is really a touching one, and most of the men go through some scenarios that may be similar, but not precisely to his tailoring. So in most cases, we as activists, the main reason why we are activists in the first place is to create safe spaces for these people, is to be a voice for them where they don't have a voice, where they feel like, if I tell my friend, he may laugh at me. You get? So in most cases, our main job is to create safe spaces. For example, like a toll-free number where someone can call at any time or any day and speak out their heart, without someone at the end judging them, or even them feeling insecure, that what is this person thinking of me? Don't they think I have a problem? No. We create these things. We create these podcasts, these clubs, so that even the men can be heard. They know that there's a free space, that you don't need to do life alone. You see, Prudential says this when it's ending there, most of the adverts is that, truly now, let's do this together. You understand? So as men, you do not need to die alone. Don't try to be a film star. You may not make it out. Be human. Emotions are human. To feel is human. To cry, it's normal. If you think crying will help you lessen your burden, please cry. Don't even cry, wail, so that you're crying your heart out loud. Find someone. Go to the professionals. The professionals don't have that, maybe this is a woman, this is a man. No. They have gone to school to study these things, to help you. Find different counselors. Talk to someone. Confide in someone. Don't die alone. One thing about depression, or one thing I've seen in depressed people, is that they all have a same pattern. They all take themselves out of the crowd. They isolate themselves. But when you're isolating yourself, you're basically training your mind to overthink, but you're thinking at a dead end. No one is going to give you advice, no one is going to help you because you're alone. Don't be alone. Talk to someone, talk to counselors, speak to a friend. You know, the funny part is that I may tell you something and you laugh at me. But me, I have shared. It is shame on you who I have told and you've laughed. That is on you, not on me. Me, I've come to share. So that's why at campus, we really fought that we have a mental health club in the first place. And we have seen that these sessions are very helpful because students really attend them. They're like, when I come here, I forget about my problem. When I come here, I feel free. When I come here, I feel like the world at least has stopped. Because honestly, the world is cruel.
Basically, talking man to man, there is an issue we face as men, and that's the fear of judgment, or fear of judgment by society or any person. So how best can we confide in a profession, in a professional or any person with any problem that we might bring on board? As a creative, do you have anything to insight on that?
Okay, basically, if it's outside, let me first give you one of the solutions outside the creative world, because creatives, we have our own perspective of how we look at certain things. So, outside, man to man, it goes back to Nicholas's story. As men, as we are sharing to each other, the first thing we always do is laugh. It will seem to be funny. It will, in his situation, it will not be funny. You will be touched and you will learn something, because these are situations that are usually happening. But as you're sharing with a friend, a fellow man, as we are men and we are sharing these stories, the first thing we shall do, we shall either laugh, that is in a situation that you're being in a depression caused by a girl. The first thing is to laugh. But in the due process, we always find these people who laugh, they always will believe they are our friends. Some of them, actually most of them, in the end, they will always give you an opinion, which will always, in one way or the other, give you the solution to your problem, tailored, as she was saying. Then, as a creative, this is now a mind whereby we look at a totally different angle of things. Being judgmental as the society, this is a process. Now we look at, since we know the society is judgmental, we always tailor. Let me say, okay, most of us have been watching cartoons. We know the SpongeBob, so on and so forth, Katoto. So a boy child, we can get a segment for us to control the judgmental part. You will see a segment whereby a man is trying to share, confide in a person they trust, a person they feel safe with. It goes back to what she was sharing. Activists, as she was sharing, they are there to help. A toll-free number at any time of the day will be very, very crucial. Because if you call and you're confiding in someone, a stranger you don't know, but that person, we just need someone to listen. There are certain people when they just need someone to listen. Provided he or she is listening, the problem will continuously go on being solved. So to solve the judgmental bit, we look at creating illustrations. Now illustrations, to break it down, those are the cartoons you see. Those we create a script, a segment that shows a man trying to confide in a person they trust. It shows up that find someone instead of just coming up to open up. It's hard for this for the current society, and she shared in the beginning. It's going to take quite a good time for the society to embrace that. Men are also human. They have to be heard. It will take quite a while. But then we start with the baby steps. The baby steps are these, as we're having it as a talk show. We're trying to inform people that the men are also human. They have they can get a platform where they can be heard, not neglecting still the women. Because basically, we have heard about the girl child. I've grown listening to the girl child campaigns. But I believe we also need to create a platform for the boy child.
Tabitha, as a student that was as a student leader, I believe you've been approached by a boy child, by a man in that very sequence. But do you think the society is able to create or has created a safe space? And how best can we entrust that these men, or the men apparently, are able to stand up and have this problem solved?
First of all, the number of times I've been approached is mostly women. Those are the girls at school, maybe in my class or not in my class, others through my email, others through calls, WhatsApp. They call me and then they ask me, oh, Tabitha, I was told you do this. Tabitha, I was told you can give me this. Tabitha, can you help me do this? There's something that I'm going through, can you help me? Now, when you find that percentage, you get to know that it's mostly women. And I got to have an interaction with actually, I think, 2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken, 1 or 2, between that range. And those were 2 men or 1 man. It happened so that this student, he had a loving family and all that, He was living this good luxury that I think most or a percentage of us desire or wish for. But still, he got to recently just find out that the father has a kid, and the kid is at the same range as him, and the father also brought this kid to the same university, that is Cavendish. So you find that this student starts to look at the father in a different way. All the beliefs, all the training, all the talks, you start looking at him differently and be like, is it that he didn't love us much, or is it that we are not good enough, or is it that my mother was this, or if I had done this, he would not have gone to have another woman aside from my mother, This same student started having suicidal thoughts. He stopped schooling. Actually, he stopped schooling, and he would actually ask the parent for school fees, and he would double the school fees because, as he said, his coping mechanism was alcohol. That is boozing. You can do anything with boozing. You can misuse it, or you can use it rightfully. Now his mechanism.
In 1 minute, briefly, I lost a friend, a coursemate of recent. Actually, it's last month. Was laid to rest in peace. But the issue was, mental health is a series. It doesn't just come up. It starts with it becomes a pattern. By the time, as she said, by the time someone thinks of suicide, most men who have committed suicide, they come in as a pattern. So this guy, as you're at campus, you're a man, you have to look for food and so on. So this guy was doing, we call them muchuba. You're doing one course, but you do different courseworks for these people, so that by the time that time of you, as you're doing your coursework, you have money. So by the time they did the postmortem, they said heart failure. So the heart failure came by the time we tried to analyze, as they were putting him to rest. Over 20 people were like, who is going to do for us coursework? Who is going to do for us coursework?
That's what they were minding about.
They were looking at that. So it hit me so hard. Meaning mental health beyond just thinking about mentally. We need also to think about our health as men. Because before you do any other thing, you're going to be affected emotionally. So this guy was emotionally affected through the stress, the pressure, and so on from all these other people. All I'm trying to put out there is people, men, I believe we all have those safe friends beyond the story time stuff. We know we have those friends we can confide in, speak up. Call this friend at night at any time. She's one of because she said, we cannot just wake up one morning and I'm like Christy, not Tabitha. I'm here to tell you my story. These are ladies. It will feel weird. Okay, tell Nicholas, tell Nathan, tell whoever. Tell whoever you feel like you can confide in, because it's hard. The moment your emotions are cocooned somewhere, you're keeping those emotions, those hard times you're passing through. If you don't break down and you wail, as she said, if you need, cry if you need, but make sure you're sharing your story with someone. You'll be helped. Our mental health is running down, but we shall keep up, encouraging you to speak up. Thank you. I remain Victor.
Right. Thanks very much, Victor, for honoring our invite.
I think this has been a very elaborating session. It has been very important. It has been very intriguing on really what happens in the men's mental life and health. One thing I can say is that there's no more important person in your life than you, the holder of the life. If you do not take care of you, no one is going to take care of you like you, because you're the one who knows what you need. You're the one who knows what you go through when the overthoughts start pouring in your mind. You're the one who knows what you go through in the night when you're alone, in the darkness. You're the one who knows your fears. You're the one who knows your happiness. It's only you. That it starts with you, actually. The healing starts with you, because it takes you to want to speak up. It takes you to share what you're going through as an individual. So please don't keep quiet, because life is so funny that even if you die today, the following day we'll eat food, we shall sleep, and we shall live our happy moments. So it is you to take care most of you. Live happily. Where if you know food makes you happy, please go buy the food and eat it. If you know that going out makes you happy, please do so. Because those joyful moments and those happy emotions are very important for your mental health. They're very, very important. Because if you're all the time sulking and sad, your mind will go in a state of loneliness. Because you're usually alone with your mind. You're usually alone with your thoughts. So go out there. If you're an outgoing person, please be outgoing. If you love mount climbing, please climb the mountain, go to Renzori. If you have the chance of going to zip lining, zip line. Life is too short, And please, speak up, because it starts with you. Speak up, because if I'm quiet, Tabitha will not realize that I have a problem. I am not okay. But if I call Tabitha and I'm like, I am dying, she'll be like, okay, what is wrong? I'll get concerned. because you've told me you're not okay as a friend. You know, men say that their fellow guys laugh at them. But there's always that one person. Here, like if I talk to this person, they'll give me a solution. And even if you don't want to share it as your story, you can say I have a friend. They're going through this and this and this. And you just digest the matter, the both of you. It is very important. So please speak up.
Yeah. Nicholas, as much as would love to get to hear the stories more and more, but of course,
it's a continuation. We do more story time.
but due to time factors and studying factors, then we need to conclude here. A minute to. So Nicholas, back to you now. A minute to conclude.
Okay, for me, my parting shot will go straight to fellow men. After it's our month for mental health. I don't know if there's a mental health month for women. Oh, it's us that are always running crazy with mental health issues. Anyway, so my message to you, fellow men, is prioritize yourself. Don't think about other people when you're struggling. Make yourself a priority. Some people calling it making yourself a mental point of origin. Yourself first, the rest come later. You can't deal with other people's problems when you're nashing internally. Don't think about buying for your girlfriend KFC yet you're going to go eat commando. That's very dangerous and stupid. So make yourself a mental point of origin, prioritize yourself. Because most of these diseases that you see people, I've been working for a while, I've seen a lot of my colleagues struggling financially, then they get stressed, then they can no longer eat, then they start dealing with ulcers, diabetes and all that. Yet that girlfriend that you're spending the money on is going to leave you in a minute and go to another guy that is going to do what you can't offer. So make yourself a priority first. If you're looking good, she's going to keep around because she knows you're always going to be game. That is all I have to say about that. Thank you so much.
All right. I've really had an exciting and more elaborative panel. Thank you very much indeed to my guests. Oh, it's a vote of thanks to my guests. That's Christine, Tabitha, mentioned Nicholas, and indeed Victor. I believe we shall be having these talks for the time being, or as time goes on. Behind production, we do have Nathan and Kepo Tracy. So we remain WRTG, where we get to talk tell the little truths and speak of the big conversations. I remain Bakizasha. Thank you very much indeed. I sign out.